Hi, this is a video to give you training on how to edit the Special Learning website. So first you're going to want to go to SpecialLearningCenter.com/WP admin. That will get you to the admin screen where you put in your username and password. And the username and password will be on the red sheet that you receive via email. So check that out for your username and password. That will log you into this basic dashboard right here. Not a lot of info on here right now, shows some forms and things. It can show additional things if we plug those in. The main place that you'll be editing is here under pages. That's all the pages on the website, and there are quite a few, so sometimes it's easier just to go up here in the upper right, and let's type in homepage, for instance. And you can take a look at that. It's moving a little bit slow today. All right, so you can see that the home page is the front page. I'll click on that to open it up. And these pages really are sort of containers for a lot of other tools that are going on. I'll stretch this out a bit. So you'll see there's these page groups and a lot of info that honestly you're probably going to skip over. And drop down here and see that there is a section that has a revolution slider in it. So let's go back here to your website. Let's go to the home page. And you can see that the very first thing at the top of your home page is this slider. This is the slider with the big graphic in it. So these things are all in header information, kind of generic header information, but this is really the first thing on the home page, which is the slider. And so we'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's saying essentially pull in the slider. Then you go down a little further and it says pull in the home page boxes. So when you go down here, there's only 2 of them in here right now. There's room for 3, but home page boxes are what those are. And those are accessed right over here, home page boxes. So we'll look at that in a bit. If you keep going down a little bit more, you see that we have a video, and sure enough, there's the video. Go down a little bit more, and there's our proud partners. And really that's just a headline and then another slider because it has a slider full of logos of your partners in there. So this is kind of like all of the containers containing the content, including at the very bottom. There's a little bit of text here that's really for search engine purposes. All those important words are in there. Each of the pages will be similar to this. Let's take a look at a different page here. Like, let's say we want to look at, let me pull one that makes sense, like maybe about. Let's type that in. Okay, sorry. Yours is not about. Okay, let's go to program overview. That's what we have. The program overview page, let's type that in here. And there we go, program overview. Let's edit that. You can see here that that content is matching up. So there's a headline, some text, and a button. Over here on the back side, headline, text, and all of that information is in here. So as you go down the page, see these learn mores. This is a little confusing. They're white text, so it's a little hard to see that, but those are the buttons. Now these pages have formatting in the boxes for the text that's a little bit like Word in that you have text and then you have settings, style sheets essentially. And so this is heading 1, and heading 1 looks like this font on the back side, but it's really set to be your fonts here on the front side. So you want to choose H1, heading 1 for the biggest heading on the site. This text is paragraph text, and so it's just regular plano text on the site, throughout the site. If you highlight this one, it's a heading 2, which means it's blue, and that's a different style. We go back to a paragraph style there. This one that's white and a little bit hidden, that's formatted right here as a button. You can see that's highlighted. So you can turn anything into a button. I could, for instance, take this text and change my format to button, and then I'm going to use this tool right here. It's a link tool. And so I would search for the page that I want to link to. Or I could go to this and it will show me all the pages in my site. So I could choose one of these pages or put in an outside URL if I want to do that. So anything really can be turned into a button when you change the format to button. And you can see there's other formats in here too, like white text. The Love Ya font is the really cute kind of kid written font. Blue text, large text, small text. So we've had to add a few extras because we had such a variety of things going on that really fell outside of standard H tags, heading tags. So there's a few extra formats that are going on in there. But every page will look pretty much like this, where there's a box with content or boxes that pull in other tools here from the side. And you kind of have to look and see, okay, it's pulling in a slider or pulling in the team or whatever it is. So that's an example of a page with mostly content. Now, on this page, you'll see that there's a featured image up here at the top. There's also a headline. So the headline is right here. This is the title of the page that shows up big and bold on the page. Whatever you put here will be both the address of the page, you can edit this if you want, and it will be the title of the page. Then if you come over here to the right and scroll down a bit, you'll see the featured image. You can remove this and you can set another one. So for instance, if I remove this image and I set a new featured image, it's going to take me to the media library. Now there's quite a few folders in here for the tools that are in a different tool for rental of, or the equipment library is what I'm trying to say. So there, all of those are in there. You can skip over theirs, but you can see there's a lot of images in here. It goes back and back and back if you load more, and you can view all of those images. A lot of these are staff and board members and that sort of thing. Now we're getting into some of the website. Let's load more. And you can see all the different images that are in the site. Lots of them we have cropped very horizontally so that they can be featured images at the top of the page. So you could choose a different one if you want, or you could drop a new file in there. You just kind of want to be cognizant of the fact that it's going to be very landscape in this spot. So just kind of be aware of that, make sure it's cropped appropriately and ready to go in there. After you make any of those changes, be sure to hit the update button in the upper right. This is what makes it go live. Whenever you hit update, it will go live, and you can preview it first if you want to, so that you can see the changes before you hit update. That's fine. You can do that. There's a lot of other settings in here too. For instance, this section is 100% width of the page. For instance, I could do a 50% section and another 50% section, and they would be like columns side by side. I don't think there's any really set up like that on this site, but it is possible. There's also this SEO section down here at the bottom where there's a description of the page, and you can put in key phrases. You can help your SEO be a lot better by filling in some of this data. Some is filled in, some is not. You can go through and fill those in if you wanted to increase traffic to your site. So that's general editing of the site. Now, one other page that's a little bit different is resources. So if we go here to resources, you'll see that it's broken up into section, family and child, first steps, and early intervention, school-based, and so forth. All of these, and okay, I'm going to show you a trick here. Once you are logged in on the back, you get this special little toolbar up here at the top, only if you're logged in. And you can actually edit right from here. You can hit this edit page, and so you don't have to go back and search for the page. It'll take you right there. So if we take a look at this, this main box here, you can see those sections are here, and there's these odd little boxes dropped in here. And what those are galleries, essentially. Those are galleries with all of that content. And there's an edit button within those. So if you click on that, you can edit those galleries. For instance, here's the gallery items here that pop up. And it takes you to this Foo gallery, it's called. And that's where the little icons are for each item, and they are then linked to the actual downloads. So it's sort of like a photo gallery, but we've used it really for resources, in this case, PDFs and so forth. So that is the Foo Gallery tool. I'm just going to move this over a little bit. The Foo Gallery tool over here on the left-hand side. And that's the one page that's a little bit different. Then if we go back, let's take a look at the people page. So if I go to Board of Directors, you can see it has all of the photos on it. And again, I'm going to hit Edit Page. This is another tool that you'll see is dropped in. Again, this is sort of the box that things get dropped into, these tools get dropped into. And in this case, these are custom tools that we've built that are called Teams. So this is right over here, and it's pulling in the Board of Directors and the advisory board in here. So if I click on Teams and I need to update someone, you can see there's a lot of different teams in here. So I can go to the advisory board, for instance, open that up, and sure enough, you see the people, their photo, their name. You can put a description and their social media links and their email. You can put all kinds of things in here. We have it just doing kind of the very basics right now, where it's a photo and their name, and that's about it. So you can see those tools. You can duplicate it. You can delete someone out. You can upload a new photo for them. It's pretty basic. Again, just remember to hit update. The blue update button is over on the right almost all the time, and that's how you save your changes so that things are updated. And once you hit update on that particular team, it will automatically update the board page, because the board page is just calling in this content. It's just the box that calls it in. One of the other tools that's set up, we talked about on the home page. There are homepage boxes, one for Facebook feed, a featured item, and an event. So you can set up all of those things so that you're pulling in appropriate content. So right now it's pulling in the small events. So let's go to events here. And here's all of the events. These are all in draft right now, meaning no events are showing up. They've been taken back to draft setting where no one can see them. They're still here. You could turn them back on for the 2023 year. Make your edits and put them back in publish mode. So let's edit a perfect pairing, for instance. It has a link, a little icon that goes with it, location, dates, and so forth. And then instead of the status being draft, you'd want to change that to pending review and publish. And then that would make it viewable for everyone to see. So these are the events that feed in actually in two places. So they feed into the home page and give you a little icon on the home page. That's what's missing right here. There's no events right now. And then they should also, under how to help, there's an events page. And it will automatically populate in here with images, but there's none in here right now. There's just some text that's sort of generic that stays in here all the time. So if you put text, if you put those events back in and make them live again, they'll start populating the pages. Let me see if there are any other tools here. You may want to edit the menu at the top. This menu, let me show you how to do that. That's over here under Appearance and Menus. If you go there, this tool works pretty well in that it's pretty user-friendly. All of the ones that are bumped all the way to the left are the main menu items, the ones that you see here: Home, Resources, Programs, How to Help. Home, Resources, Programs, How to Help. Then all the ones that are indented, those are the sub-items underneath them, the drop-downs. So for instance, if I really wanted the December newsletter to be top, I just bump it right up to there, and it's going to show up at the top of the menu. If I had created a page recently and I want to add it to the menu, I can do that. Just a note, it's going to add it at the very bottom. And then you can drag things wherever you want it, as a main menu item or as a sub menu item. You can drag them all around. But just remember that when you add something new, it automatically goes to the bottom and you have to scroll down to see it. When you've made the changes you want to make, be sure that you hit the blue Save Menu button. It won't update until you do that. There's a lot of other settings in here, there's a Facebook feed call-in, more SEO settings, all kinds of things that are built into the site, but most of those you will not have to touch. If you wanted to change that slider on the homepage with the kids' pictures and the little bios, that's here under Revolution slider, and you could take a look at that. It's pretty complex though. That may be something that you want to call Firehouse for, because we've got your slider built pretty complex to be nice and fun and colorful, and it has several images and text boxes and things that are timed with animation coming in. So feel free to call us about that. If you have any other questions, give us a call. We're happy to help. Thanks.